Hello and good morning, guys. Dave, what are we doing today?
I'm just undoing broken clips.
Broken clips? Oh no. So yeah, since we got the Supra in primer, I believe that was on Friday, and there's a couple more little things. We did get the rear bumper in primer as well, but the front bumper has a couple little rock chips and stuff here and there. Honestly, it's not in bad shape. There is a couple little things, like right here you can see that kind of peeled back. And I have some stuff that we'll go ahead and use to put in there and fix it. It's like a two-part plastic epoxy meant for like bumper repairs like this. So look at that, it's got a Wings West front lip on it. That's probably gonna get painted with the car. But yeah, this thing is super straight now. We're gonna pull it out in the sun, let it bake a little bit more, and then we're probably gonna start sanding it today. And getting it all blocked out and pretty much ready to paint. We should be painting before the end of this week, but I'm gonna throw you guys on the time lapse real quick while Dave tears down this bumper. We also have to do like the little rear side spats and stuff. These little guys right here, that go down, those little guys that go on the side. We need to do the door mirrors and the door handles and just little stuff like that. Front bumper or the rear bumper turned out really good. There was just a couple little weird like stress flexy things on it, but the primer and everything took care of that. So this thing's coming along shortly. So the car has been, popping back in real quick. Dave's doing the door handles, kind of getting those things all prepped. Got basically this this front bumper. Put a little bit of that epoxy stuff. They didn't have to go there. This was just where David dripped some, but up in here. So this thing is nice, and you can see it's still flexible, which is kind of what you want. You don't want it like rock solid. But he went ahead and put that stuff in there. Got the front bumper all sanded, doing like the little door handles and the little side spats. And in the mirrors. So we should be able to primer those things here shortly. But before we do that, we're going to try to clean the engine bay in this thing. And one of my favorite things to use while I'm obviously working on cars and doing all that other stuff is these Milwaukee things. Like, look at this thing. So these are some of my favorite tools, and I absolutely hate using air tools. Pretty much the only thing that the air tools or the air gets used for around the shop is the primer gun. And so yeah, I'm going to be using this little guy right here. And one of the other things that I always tell people that just absolutely changes your life is one of these Milwaukee things right here. And this is the little M12 with the 3/8 head. This is the fuel guy, and brand new. I've squeezed the trigger in it a couple times, but I purchased this for one of you guys. So as you guys are watching this video, it is Wednesday the 10th, and so every single order that is placed today on MotionAutoTv.com gives you basically the order number or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and basically just take the order numbers from the beginning of the day to the end of the day and put them in basically like a spreadsheet or on random.org. Since the orders are in number, I'll basically pick from this number to this number and tell it to pick a random order number essentially, and I'm gonna go ahead and give that ratchet to one of you guys. So not only will you get a chance to get the car, you'll get a chance to win a Milwaukee, and that's for one day only. And Dave loves these tools. Dave, tell us about these tools. Give us a little review.
I don't know how I did hand tools when I was a kid.
No, seriously, it was funny if you guys remember the 1JZ swap videos with Adam when I went to Florida. That was one of the things I brought with me, and like before I went down there, I told him, I was like, hey, buy one of these, and he did. So these things,
I don't know how I used to swap SRs in 30 minutes with hand tools.
You probably didn't. It was probably a lie. You were a lot younger then, though.
Yeah.
But
I was like the Boosted Boys, but I didn't record it.
Yeah, I mean, we were all like the Boosted Boys, but we didn't record it. But that's that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and start using this thing. Maybe, let me know if you guys would be interested in one of these ones too. Maybe I'll have to pick one of those up. And this isn't sponsored by Milwaukee. They have sent me some tools out in the past. Like they sent me this in the big thing. But I was already using their stuff way before. But I just figured this would be kind of a, kind of hype you guys up a little bit more. And give you guys a reason if you guys have been sleeping on it. I got a cappuccino. I was getting ready to go to sleep. I got my little cappuccino. So yeah, I'm going to basically pull the wiring harness and everything aside. We're going to get some degreaser in the bay, pressure wash it, let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we might be able to paint this thing, the engine bay at least. Maybe we'll put like a coat of epoxy primer on it just because there's a couple little spots that went down to bare metal like right there.
Just paint those crappy coilovers.
Yeah, I don't really like these coilovers. I've had a lot of people message me about them. Making craps, yeah, and they want to. Maybe that's what I could do.
You could put them on that Supra.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna put them on that Supra, I might as well put some BCs on that Supra.
You don't have BCs for that Supra. You have these.
Yeah, but I could. I mean, I'm a BC racing dealer. MotionAutoPerformance.com. If you guys are interested in some coilers and stuff like that. Anyhow, I'm gonna quit babbling. We're gonna get this engine bay cleaned, and we're gonna get those things primed. They're pretty much ready to prime. Yeah.
I mean, I need to be bright tacked and make sure there's no shiny spots, but I think I got all the spots.
Oh, we should have got a spray bottle today for the
for
the stuff. All right, Walmart it is. So got the engine bay all cleaned up. Looks really, really nice now. All nice and clean, no grease, none of that stuff. The subframe is what really, really looks a lot better because the other one was just so freaking greasy. Yeah, you can see even if we just left it like this, it would just look like crap just because of the, all the little scratches and stuff like that, and the seam sealer, little stuff like this, little stuff like that where stuff's been kind of rubbing and kind of messing with it. So probably the plan for tomorrow is we'll get this thing in some epoxy primer and hopefully get the base shot, but we might end up getting the whole body of it shot as well. Well, not shot, we're going to get it sanded, but going to let it sit overnight. I'll probably blast it out before we leave real quick, which is the air hose, and then it'll be basically ready for a bunch of stuff tomorrow. Alright, baby Carson stopped by the shop to help me do some shop cleanup.
Carson, do you want Daddy to work on the bus? Do you want to go work on the bus? Say bus. Bus. Daddy,
Baby
bus.
Carson wants me to work on the bus. Jamie wants me to work on the bus.
Yeah.
You want me to work on the bus? You crazy. Yesterday, Jamie and the baby were over here, and we went and looked at the bus, and then the baby just kept saying bus. So anyhow, I drove my Supra today, and I got the 2JZ head all loaded up in this little tote. We're gonna go drop it off at the machine shop, have it decked, checked, valve job, all that other stuff. Baby Carson's gonna hop in the Supra. She's gonna use the side skirt as a step, probably. All right, Baby Carson, Daddy's gotta go.
Bye.
She loves buttons. She loves buttons. All right, well, time to go for a rip. This thing off now. See how it's all dirty and grimy and stuff. It's gonna look like brand new when it's all done. Just stopped at one of my my favorite places and spent a lot of freaking money on super paint. So basically the paint that we're doing is the same exact stuff that I have on the front of this, which has like a little bit of like a vibrance like pearl in it, which is kind of like green and gold and purple, and it's a really interesting thing, but you can't see it until it's like in the sun. So it kind of adds a little bit of spice to it, and then some black and some clear and a primer gun, a bunch of little stuff, some sealer. So got all that stuff. So we should be set to hopefully do some stuff tonight. See how this thing does its hot start. It was getting a little mad earlier. I took Eric for a ride in it. I don't know why I was doing that, but the BTI gauge, see, the ethanol content does some really weird stuff when it first starts up, so. As you've seen, David just got all the plastic stuff that basically been working on past couple days, kind of giving him a little scuff and kind of filling little minor things. Like he filled the license plate holes on this, because normally it looked like somebody like re-drilled into it and it wasn't that pretty. So that same plastic filler that we used on the edge down there, he went ahead and used that, and then used some other plastic filler, because he did like some crazy thing on his 3000 GT with like a Mercedes bumper and all kinds of, and like molded two bumpers together. So he's pretty good at the plastic bumper doing. But yeah, did some more primer on that stuff, and I was at home eating. But I picked up this new paint gun today from Eric. This is it's a Air Gunza by Iwata, so it's made in Italy, and it's an AZ3 HVLP paint gun. And so it has a 1.8 tip. So this whole time I've been doing primer stuff. I've had this like a Harbor Freight primer gun. It's a 1.8 tip, and then a lot of times I don't even use that. I have another little Sharpay Phoenix type thing, and it's really cheap, and it just has a really small pattern, and it's only a 1.5 tip. So this is the one I've been priming with for a while, and then so I went ahead and I retired the Harbor Freight paint gun. I guess the tips on them are really, really soft, and they spray good at first, and then eventually they kind of start doing weird patterns and stuff. And this one always kind of recently has been doing some weird stuff. So it's kind of nice to get a new paint gun, and especially a primer gun, because you guys know that I like primer. Dave, what's your review? What do you think?
I mean, I like to spray my primer out and see how it.
Because your primer was spitting. Yeah, the 1.5 tip, like you really have to get it. You really have to reduce it a lot.
I didn't reduce it at all.
You didn't. Yeah. See, that's
spray it like fucking like the ceiling shaft.
Like a texture gun. So yeah, and part of the reason why I did that gun is Brandon actually has one of those, and I used it the other night when I primed the Supra, and spraying the really thick primer out of there, it just laid it down super, super smooth, and I was really stoked on it. So since the Supra basically sat outside all day today and was, it was like 80 degrees, the metal temp on this thing was probably about 90, it got some really, really good shrinkage on it, or it went ahead and everything should have been shrunk. This thing's been primed for about 4 days. So I think we're just going to go ahead and 320 it. Like I said, it's super, super straight, so I don't think we're going to have to do much past that. Basically block it in 320, and then I think she's going to be ready to shoot. And since we are going with the 320, I got the sealer primer that has the 2K, so it's a 2K sealer primer, kind of feels like little stuff. Which honestly, we could probably finish it in 220 without it being... I mean, I did that in my Supra.
Black.
And so, black what? So I picked out a little bit of a different color for this thing. So it's not going to be just straight black. It's going to have a little bit of flavor in it. But
Your Supra twice too, so that doesn't count.
I did paint my Supra twice. But hopefully we don't have to paint this one twice. I mean, this one's going a lot quicker, but it's just such a better platform to start off. I mean, not really. There's just little dings and stuff. So I mean, that's nice though. It's nice to paint stuff like this sometimes where you don't have to go through the full restoration stage. So we did go ahead and pull off the fenders, and then we are going to be shooting the engine bay. Initially, we weren't going to try to paint this stuff back here, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that's gonna look like crap. So Brandon told me about the old foily technique where you cover stuff in foil. So that's what we're going to do with all like the brake lines and stuff like that on the back of the firewall. So that way we don't have to disconnect this whole ABS pump and bleed all that stuff. So we'll basically mask that as best as we can with the foil, and then we'll go ahead and get a brand new coat of paint in this engine bay. So we're going to start working on that and then get it ready for tomorrow, because we're going to spray basically this whole piece all together.
Hey, you know, next like 3 days, weather's gonna be crap, right?
So we should do it.
I'm just thinking tomorrow's a high of like 40.
So we should do it tonight. We should paint it tonight.
Just let you know.
What's going on?
You'll probably have to heat the booth before.
Oh, Brandon says
Well,
it's always warm.
Brandon's heater is
That's fine. Just
is always
for, like,
on.
This temperature's
For
It's always on. So yeah,
Never mind.
yeah. All right. Well, let's get to sanding. Ready, Dave? Dave, where'd you get that shirt?
Found it.
Where'd you find it?
It was kind of a contradiction today because I had an LSX shirt on and I was moving
You're just moving the
this thing.
Mopar no car, huh?
Uh-huh.
Mopar no car. All right. Well, I'm gonna quit babbling. We're gonna start sanding. Alright guys, so I think that's basically all we got in ourselves for tonight. Ran out of the 400 grit sandpaper, wet sanding, and it is pretty late. So yeah, I mean the car is turning out super straight. We are using the 9-inch blocks, you know, blocking all this stuff, so it's it's gonna be super straight. And I mean it's kind of nice when you start out with a pretty much straight car in the first place, and all you have to do is kind of fix little dings and dents and stuff like that here and there. And yeah, so I guess that's it. Quick reminder: we are doing today only, Wednesday, the 10th. You can see it's like 1 in the morning, and we are doing the giveaway for this Milwaukee. So every order number is basically a chance to win. I'm gonna throw it in an Excel sheet and do like a random number picker type of thing to pick the winning thing, and then I'll ship it to you, all that other stuff. Even if you're like international or whatever, I'll send it to you. I know the giveaway is not open to international other than Canada right now. Basically just United States and Canada. But yeah, I'm gonna say that's probably gonna be it. We're gonna try to spray this thing tomorrow. So stay tuned for that video. I'm really excited to actually get this thing in paint, and it's crazy how much faster this is going than my Supra, but it's going to turn out really nice, and one of you guys is just going to be so freaking stoked. Today we kind of figured out a couple more things that are happening with the engine, the turbo setup, the ECU, like all that type of stuff. And I think it's escalating a little bit more than we originally intended. Initially, it was going to be really basic and kind of just, you know, single turbo stock ECU, manual tranny. But I think we're gonna bump it up and make it a little bit better. So again, thank you guys for watching. MotionAutoTv.com, and thanks for, you know, all of you guys who have ordered and got yourself entries. I really do appreciate that. It definitely goes a long way as far as like supporting the channel and kind of, you know, keeping me able to do this stuff, and kind of budgets for future builds, and, you know, trying to step up some stuff. So I guess that's it. See you guys later.